1.
Well, what an odd week it's been. It's me, Hugh Pugh Barney McGrew. So, it started with Donald Trump declaring he wanted to kiss all the men in the audience. Then it turned to the most left-wing city in the country, which has agreed to go along with the government and close down. And yet, meanwhile, another left-wing city is playing political games. Yes, you, Mr. Burnham, while his city sets on fire. I'm sure he'll be the first to blame the government, though, when his hospitals are overflowing. Mr. Mumbles Dumbledore at number 10 continues to stumble his way through press conferences while all the scientists roll their eyes at him. Churchill, you are certainly not my man. Places in Tier 3 are still allowed to have non-essential shops open, although nobody can go to them because all non-essential journeys are banned. Will this be policed? I doubt it, because the Fuzz will have done a risk assessment saying it's too dangerous for them to leave the station, so they will lock themselves inside. Whilst we in Tier 2, strangely in some ways, feel better off. Last week we could not have anyone round to the garden, and yet this week we can hold a soiree whilst we warm the atmosphere with patio heaters, which incidentally have just been banned in France outside their cafes and restaurants. Talking of France, Monsieur Macron appears to be holding the Brexit trade deal to ransom to ensure that the beret-wearing onion sellers are able to keep stealing our English fish. Send in the troops, Boris, they'll soon surrender. The blonde hilariously went all William Wordsworth on us in your pickup notes with her GCSE prose this week. And finally, I put a huge lie on Instagram about Matt Hancock owning the concrete mud to a reservation company, and it appears people have believed me. Yes, I mean you, Miss Legally Blonde of Cawthorne. I had no idea I'd so much influence over you all. Now, if I could only get both of my wives to believe me when I tell them where I've been. Thankfully, in all this chaos, there has to be a constant, a rock, something that shines like a beacon in the darkness of despair and mediocre. I am, of course, referring to the finest restaurant in the land, as voted for by 260% of the voting public, The Dye Works. In all seriousness, we've been asked a few times this week if our prep will continue. Let me put your minds at rest. Chef Adi, Nick the Salad and the Blonde will continue until someone offers them a lot of money not to. Sooner rather than later, please. So I'd better fill you in on the magnificent offerings for this week. So, 2 beautiful fish dishes before Macron gets his hands on it all. So here goes. Place and smoked salmon in velouté sauce with julienne veg. And seriously, it is a stunner of a starter. Also to start, a lovely seasonal Crown Prince pumpkin risotto with mascarpone and crispy ham. Mains, a return of grilled sea bass fillet with tomato and pesto tart. Herb buttered new potatoes and rocket salad, or the one and only magnificent Provençal daube of beef with macaroni cheese. Truly is one of chef's finest dishes. Anyone asking about the macaroni with the daube, as before, will be shot. It's £20 for a starter with a £2 supplement for the daube of beef. Dessert is Nick the Salad's lovely chocolate amaretto pot. At £4, it feels like it's free. The extras list is full this week too. Souffle, wild mushroom soup, shellfish gratin, braised duck leg. My suggestion? You have one of everything. So, there we are. It's a new week, a new start, new beginnings, but same old Dye Works. They're nearly as bloody brilliant as I am. It's time, 01484 602 891. Keep an eye on the usual channels, and it's time for me to stay tuned, and seriously, stay safe.